Wow. So they actually just came back from hunting
Mateo.
and shot a cuati and an armadillo. Cool. Wow, claro. So I'm in eastern Paraguay right now and in a place called Puerto Bota. And right here at this river is where some of the peaceful contacts happened with the Aché by a group of missionaries in the 1970s. And the significance of that is that it's actually one of the only peaceful contacts that happened with the Aché in the late 1900s. A lot of the other Aché communities experienced mass disease or genocide that was completely ignored by the government. Puerto Bota is still a difficult place to live. It's a subsistence and commercial agricultural community. You also have a lot of people from other Aché communities who are moving here for medical support, for income reasons, for education. And the reality is that the tracts of land stay the same size, but with the population growth, you have more people to share a limited number of resources with. And so that adds another challenge for the future of the community here. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of being able to go to the forest with some of the community members. But anyways, I hope you join me for this adventure. That's kind of what's happening in this region. And well, just ride with me.
Mago kwa ito ya kwagi yo 9 años puro mo pa wa ju la jua je pu pi ko ti ju la jua wa che mu tu de pu Beragak. Untuk kuatan punya macam Cek mundo be. Kuaya cek mundo be ima motor cela be pam. Balu pam, boleh gua cem ni oh. Primero para wajib pulang ke jauh berajua. Ocem untuk motor cela. Kau tercerob be. Tok palu apa yang bawa lagi? Wajib. Itu ya.
So this is my dad, Bjarni. He was, he's actually one of the very first people to settle in this area when our family came over.
When it was all jungle. Yeah. It's interesting. I was 12 years old, and we hit this base camp in the middle of the jungle. And my dad, Diragi, as you know him, Ralph Fosterwald, he's the guy that had the vision to say, I think we need to provide a safe place for the Aché people. And the other thing that my dad always would say is that unless somebody reaches these people, the farmers are moving in, this is all going to open up. And once the deforestation starts, they're going to be lost and they'll probably all die because of lack of food or the first flu that somebody contacts them with, and so that's what motivated him, okay? And so he contacted a Paraguayan farmer that owned a slave called Lorenzo Crachogi, and convinced the owner to lend him to him, and he came over and he went into the forest with us during this 5-year period. I started out as a teenager. I was young, but I went along with Crachogi. He taught me some of the Aché language, and finally, when I was 17 years old, the Aché came out of the forest, and we made that friendly contact, gained trust, and it provided this necessary bridge from the jungle life to the forest, and then to having a safe place to live. And it's interesting, in this process, Lorenzo Crachogi also gained his freedom, because he came here on loan as a slave, and my dad fought with 2 lawyers finally to get him free and out under the bondage of this relationship that he had with this owner.
Check that out. That feels so sketchy. So the Aché didn't know a trade language.
No.
Like Spanish, for example.
Or Guarani.
Or Guarani. Which is why some of Paraguay's indigenous groups, specifically the Aché, have to rely on their neighbors now to be able to get access to some of the larger forested regions, because they don't own it. They technically lived and existed in those lands and were the first people here. And part of the sad part sometimes in that is that very few people in the surrounding areas sometimes are even aware of what that was like. We drove from the Aché community of Porto, Bota, 80 kilometers to a forest reserve in Santa Rosa. The Aché have permission to hunt and gather here, but it's difficult for them to come as often as they'd want to. This is mainly because they have to drive this far, and the community doesn't always have enough money for gasoline and vehicle maintenance. We set up camp near a dam on the reserve, and the first thing the Aché did was build a fire, which is still the main way the community prepares their food. How does this thing end up here? And this is the creepiest thing that I've seen in a good while. This will be the decoy to attract all the jaguars there.
Cipai kuja gogi. Lopete ija membo chuma gobu. Guje kama gobu cipai nama coba jata citu ciraji kuap. Jabe jai na gope ni buat yama. Gobu jai nama ija jaci ama inyama koi gije kama kemaka. Membo chuag. Gobu jabe ijai nama debe jata kuapa. Gobu even ma jambu pamau pambama de goji we koma cha pipe tema ijadi. Gobu cipawe kuede tem. Buat tamai jago. Ba siapa we kaji japokono ka acip. Gobu apa? Udah ba? Kueda bale.
Gue beri ke dulu ya. Beben tu yang gue kande cacu kande gue buat dulu yang dulu bu gue menemu bayi nak kande. Cacu menemu bayi ni. Orang ni kali apa dia orang gue ni dulu yang ini gue be. Jangan mau macam dulu yang ini dulu bu nanti be opo ida. Cuci pokok bute. Kue pecho ikomai me chukrumi juja wegi enda wegi pecho chupavita tui kue pe juja enda wegi kue pe jamo chachukumai na inama igo pamproro juja me krumi ruya yang juja mo gatu am uchoro be juja mo gatu kowe bu macho pamwata enda be cho achima uchoro me chau chuchingama cho achima cho okra yamai me cho chukrami wale bero chuchenga cho pamanobu como cho apa inyabu cho gai pana cho veja prego cho upavegi cho achitema cho kue ju jau proibe na cho ju jende pe cho bata bu chingama ni ma chijau.
When the Aché lived in the forest, daily life was centered around food resources. Men hunted about 8 hours every day, providing the majority of calories for the Aché's diet. The primary hunting weapon was a bow and arrow. The strings were made from the heart of a pindo palm, the feathers from turkey vultures. Women also gathered food for the community, extracting the fiber from palm trees, gathering fruits and insect larvae. Women also carried the family's possessions, children and pets, in woven palm baskets. Men and women usually separated for the day but rejoined in the late afternoon, where food from the day was shared among the tribe. Hunters would rarely eat from their own kills, and also very little of the forest was wasted.
Jamo ba? Oh. Jamo or juku? Could be juku. Which is either it's a jaguar. They're saying it's a jaguar.
I personally noticed the Aché's close attention to detail in the forest. They would spot jaguar tracks quickly, recognize and distinguish the different sounds of species. And in the forest, the Aché have been careful to follow specific regulations because of the population sizes of animal groups. The Aché no longer hunt peccary in this area because of that very reason. Because the Aché are one of the few groups that know the forest so intimately, even though they use resources within the forest, they are also vital to its protection. When Felipe Gajagi was showing me the traditional Aché hunting practices, surprisingly we encountered traps set up in the forest. Gajagi was certain that the owners weren't aware these traps were here, and because of the delicate relationship of the Aché's permission to use the land, Felipe didn't want the Aché to take on the blame for practices like this.
Nama juga.
It's very sad, this part. Trees are really broken down.
Reida. Ci.
Chatu tracks, so the peccary, so for the wild boar.
¿Qué vas a conseguir?
Ni permite nada demasiado. Tiene que quitar y tiene que ir a otro tiene que programar. Hay otro. Mira, jabalí cuánto hay.
Aché, uno. Cámara.
자, chukuigi. Koagi yucapabu. 자, chuñavera cande cuchiñaveremi. Tiene que saber y vamos a atacar cazadores en Manguyo.
So he's very worried right now because this is potentially a trap for peccary. That he has to ask the owners and the administrator of this forest whether or not they permitted this or not, because if this is a trap, with the food right there for the pigs, the peccary to come and eat, they'll just destroy the whole population.
Chopran llama coepe. Señor cazadores me dijo, indio tiene que mucho llevar carne. Es mentira. Vamos a atacar y vamos a llamar a fiscalía, tiene que ver Manguyo. Y acá, si no ataca, anima va, si vete va a terminar. Gononga aropeco y na emi urepe, paraguayo, es mentira. Paraguayo y na, bueno, indígena yoda cigarrillo. Cerveza chomema, yoda cerveza. Indígena tiene basura, ahí tiene basura. Es mentira.
Si esto no es, si esto es ilegal, entonces es peligroso porque pueden decir que ellos hicieron. No, esto es mentira. Alguien está haciendo esto. Hay que atajar eso. No hay que dejar que los jabalíes se casen todo, porque
sí,
después va a terminar todo. Y los niños y los nietos no van a saber qué es un jabalí. Entonces esto es muy importante. Y por eso él está enojado. Quiere atajar eso. No quiere que esto sea, que se pierda todos los chachú por causa de esto.
So the Aché have already lost access to a tract of land that they used to have permission to go hunt and gather on, called Agropeco. And so it's very concerning here, seeing some potential signs of poaching. And to lose the tract of land here, or to lose permissions to go to the forest here, would be so disheartening, because they've already lost access to one tract of land that was so significant for them. So this is the battle, because all of this land, technically by title, is not theirs, and yet it obviously has a lot of significance to them, and they want to protect these areas. Yes, they will use resources from the forest, but they're not wanting to come in and poach the animals, potentially, like we're seeing here. When we showed some of the traps to the forest managers, they were shocked. It confirmed our reports that poaching was happening in this area, most likely someone from Piraputa, a settlement close to the reserve. The owners have received death threats in the past from poachers, and because of that, they actually tend to avoid this area of the forest. It was frustrating because we didn't know how many animals had already been killed in the process, and it meant we might not have as much success hunting or seeing wildlife on this trip as we originally expected. Worst of all was the pressing fear that if practices like this went unchecked, the Aché could lose permission to visit their homeland.
Nambu? My sister's named after this.
Oh God, that's a good time to bring that up.
Ija, Tonya Nunga.
They're calling you Tonyangi again.
What is that?
You know, no head.
Oh, they're calling yeah, Tonyangi.
Juto ya.
Juto, yeah. No head white man.
That's fine. I'll take whatever name I can get.
Coba tahu curi tu kau pera. Cuma no ya jabe coba tanda be pleno makara. Pute batanda be cuma jauh cita makai para. Pregiro chomino me chama choinyamba.
The sunrise was warmth on the cold winter morning. Right after we woke up, I climbed a tree because apparently the Aché wanted to see if I could actually do it. I passed the test and was then crowned with the heart of a palm tree. But there was a different test awaiting me back at camp. No one had eaten the head of the Nambu, so they decided to give it to the foreigner.
Así no va a poner. Así. Su ojo.
I'm not gonna suck out another eye.
Just gotta suck it up, man.
No, this one, no! It's like sleeping!
Sleepy. Ay, ya está muerto.
No, this... You can't, this, no. No, that's... No!
Come on. Ale. There's only one.
No, it's just like she dug out the whole thing. It was like this deep divot. Oh, it squirted on my pants. The eye juice squirted on my pants.
Come on, get some more eye juice. Eat it.
No.
Come on, suck it out.
No.
Ale. Look, you have an audience now. Everybody's looking. Eat it. Just grab it with your teeth.
No, oh, there it is.
There.
It's like an olive. Okay, I'm done. I did it. I'm done.
Look.
Gift for you. Oh my god. Oh, that's good. It squirted all over my pants.
Look, he's eating the brain right there.
It's been an amazing time with the Aché, and I've learned so many things, and I realize how ignorant I am in terms of understanding of what it's really like to live in the forest for an extended period of time. And by extended period of time, I mean your whole life. So imagine living your whole life in the forest, not being able to come and swing by a grocery store on your way home like this.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I have loved their sense of humor, all the laughter and the jokes around the fire. And so it's actually hard. It's hard to say goodbye.
vale de ma ya de o ma chupape. Kaji pane buchama go. Ve llama ole watma mi pendeje mi. Ju llama vale ole watma pane vale.